Oklahoma State Wrestling has its share of legends. No program has more. But as time passes, even the most loyal fans of the Cowboys might need an occasional reminder of some of the early giants of our sport. And as one dusts off the old trophies or looks into the faded pages of the record books, there is a name that stands front and center. 2023 OSU Hall of Honor inductee, David "Buddy" Arndt.
When Art Griffith says he was one of the best wrestlers he ever coached, period. It's over. That says a lot, because Art Griffith coached a lot of superstars, and he claims Buddy Arndt as being one of his best all time.
The skills that he was putting on was different from those early years, and from 1928, 1916, when we started, to 1941, 42, when he won his first two titles. I think everybody was like glued to watching him, and even guys like Myron Roderick, who later talked about the best wrestler in Oklahoma State history for those 40 years was Buddy Arndt. And I think he was the best because he started developing skills that people never saw. And a lot of that was changing levels, getting to the legs, finishing single legs, sneaking out the back, a little bit more scrambling skills that really just, I think people fell in love with the sport because of Buddy Arndt as well.
The true story of Mr. Arndt is the stuff of books and movies. He was a three-time NCAA national champion who never lost a college match. Those feats alone are worth induction into any Hall of Recognition. But as it turns out, not all championship three-peats are the same.
David "Buddy" Arndt holds the distinction of being the only wrestler to win an NCAA title before and after the war.
Arndt won national titles in 1941 and 1942, and another in 1946. Freshmen were not eligible to compete during his years in Stillwater. And what about those 4 years during the war? All Arndt did was fly more than 100 missions as a pilot. It is an incredible story of an undefeated wrestler winning 2 national titles, taking 4 years off to help defeat the Nazis, and then returning to Stillwater for another undefeated season and NCAA title.
He had over 100 combat missions in World War II and in the 15th Air Corps. He earned a Distinguished Flying Cross and 6 Bronze Battle Stars. I mean, he just didn't go over there and hang out. I mean, he was in combat.
Arndt was 23-0 as an Oklahoma A&M wrestler, one of just 5 Cowboys to never lose a match. He won the only 3 national championships he was eligible to win. Only 16 Cowboys have 3 national titles. In 1942, in his last matches before he entered the war, he outscored his opponents at the NCAA Championships 44-11, not including a pin. He was, of course, named the outstanding wrestler of the tournament.
I mean, you got guys from Oklahoma State talking about him before he ever wrestled here at Oklahoma State, like Frank Lewis, Coach Roderick, who's had a lot of success, was an Olympian here. When you talk to him and he's talking about Buddy Arndt, you've got 2 Olympians talking about a guy that never got a chance to go to the Olympics.
He wrestled at Tulsa Central. A lot of people don't realize the history of Tulsa Central. I mean, Art Griffith was the coach there. They had, I think, 30 NCAA champions, wrestlers that combined to win 30 NCAA champions. They all came through Tulsa Central.
Arndt followed his high school coach to Stillwater, and his success followed as well.
He never was beat. And then he goes into a successful career in business. He had discipline, he had persistence, he had those traits that, that sports can bring out and are required to be a champion. And then they go into other walks of life.
That's what makes him kind of a special guy, is that you think he won first 2 before the war at 145, and then 9 pounds later, 4 years later, he finds himself as a 3-time national champion and an athlete that was undefeated.
I mean, they say truth is stranger than fiction, and I mean, if you made that up, someone would go, that can't happen. But David Buddy Arndt did it.
David Arndt, by the age of 26, had accumulated a lifetime of accomplishments. Championship trophies, a decorated war veteran, and a successful business career. Tonight, we honor him for all those things with his induction into the 2023 OSU Athletics Hall of Honor.